Hello again, welcome back to another daily Binding of Isaac Repentance. It is March 27th, 2022. How about them apples? It's another day. Another day. How about that? Okay. So we won last run. It was a very long run. Close to 2 hours for a video. Let's see. We're just gonna do a regular cane. Kind of chill out a little here. See here is AP8Q TFKS. Okay. So, what's been happening last about 24 hours or so? Well, let's see here. Had some crazy dreams last night. That was something. Like, not scary dream, just really off the wall weird stuff. I don't think I've had a scary dream in like many years. Like something to where I feel like I'm personally scared. I've had some creepy ones, but like not like nightmares to where I get affected by it like severely. Yeah, I'm still desensitized to that, I guess. So, what else has been going on? So I beat an Elden Ring last night, took down the final boss, and yeah, feel pretty good. Except for like the second phase, what happened was he got stuck. He stopped moving, stopped fighting at some point in the game. So I took him down that way, and that wasn't even intentional. And I kind of wonder if that was like some kind of like a cheese method that I don't know about that I somehow pulled off. I did that in the second phase somehow. I mean, I did defeat him fair and square, and wasn't intentional to like do that, because like I had plenty of health to work with, and my mimic's helping me. And I get it, the mimic's like, oh well, those Ashes of War doesn't give you the full experience of how hard the game is if you're using them constantly. I get it. I do. At the same time, it's my first FromSoft game, and I mean, you can make the argument too. It's like, oh wow, if it's your first FromSoft game, you should have played Dark Souls on and complete it. I may be making some hypotheticals here with like arguments, but hear me out here. Hear me out. Oh! That almost got me. Just hear me out here. So, this Elden Ring. It's pretty good. Of course it's pretty good. Now what's to do after completing one of the endings? Complete the other endings. Why? Because I wanna get my achievements. I guess there's another boss I have to take down still. I didn't know about. We're not fighting Uriel. Come on, we need some good stuff. Alright. That's okay. I was hoping to get like a bunch of soul hearts, but whatever. A bunch of money for purchasing power early on is pretty good. So yeah, I took down the final boss because the day before I took down a whole series of bosses that were like tough. Well, actually, there's one that I took down the first try.
Judgment.
Surprisingly, nearly killed me. I think it had 2 separate health bars, if not like it was a halfway point and then he kept his health. Excuse me. Now you make me regret my decision picking up that soul heart, dude. Jerk. Blister. It's a blister, mister. So yeah, I completed it. And now, ye tarnished, who yet lived. Requires more satiation. I still gotta, like, finish the rest of, like, the playthrough stuff before I start a new game with NG Plus mode. Which basically I keep everything that I've collected in this first playthrough, but then the catch is I start the campaign over again. And I can't go to these different Site of Graces anymore. They'll show up on the map, but I can't go to them anymore. That means more opportunities for weapons again, more... even copies of weapons if I want it. Want them too. Get like double hammers. Go freaking nuts. You know what? I was actually watching a video earlier. Someone was a response video to a video. And they were talking about their concerns about the game being too hard. It should have an easy mode, basically. And I think, honestly, no. As much as I suffered with that game and get frustrated with it, I really enjoy the uniqueness of this game being very difficult. I'll admit, though, there are some occasions, it might be just like glitches, could be like, because I know a couple of them were like glitches, most definitely. Like the Scarlet Rot dogs, they can kill you almost instantly, even if you got like max like defense. They'll kill you like instantly. Like that's a glitch for sure. So you got these kind of glitchy bosses. There's even times where they get stuck somewhere or something. They might be mortified. Now, I took down a boss. It's called Rondom or something, random. What was his name? But basically, he was a guy on a horse with swords in this Scarlet Rot Desert. And I took him down pre-nerf. Like, as in they nerfed him, not... Well, they nerfed other stuff too, but they nerfed him especially. So I took him down pre-nerf. And it took me a few tries. Like, I don't know entirely what they did with nerfing him. I did read some things about it, like, oh, they did this and that. Forgot all the details, but essentially they nerfed the crap out of him. So I can say for certain that I've played and beaten that guy pre-nerf. And that was pre-Mimic, too, that I had. So I didn't have Mimic at the time, either, that I recall. Did I? I gotta remember now. Now, wait a minute. So I tried fighting him pre... Oh, no, I couldn't get the Mimic until after I beat him. Yeah. So it was, yeah, obviously pre-Mimic, too. So the time I was rocking with, like, my wolves for Ash Award, like, guys. So... that's the deal. I'm imagining some other bosses are going to get nerfed, too. To make it easier-ish. Well, easier, but not, like, super easy. The final boss could use some rework a little bit, but whatever. Then again, I'm pretty bad at dodging the game still, even at the end. So, I'm not going to be... So let me just kind of preference here. I'm not saying to make the game super easy, right? There's just certain little things that the game is glitching to where it's kind of hard to, like... I can't explain it, like the dog thing, for example. That was, they kill you instantly. I think from what I was reading somewhere, I guess in past Souls games, there were glitches with the dogs doing that same thing too. And that got fixed. But I'm not talking about where it's like, it's something where it's part of the game mechanics intentionally meant to be there, not the unintentional stuff. And that's kind of hard to really, I guess, pinpoint for a player like me who's, you know, never played these kind of games to determine which one is just definitely glitchy and which one's not. Now I do agree that there's like glitches where you know you die floating in the air. You don't know what's going on after you take your horse down. That could be fixed. But I don't think that happened to me that often, but it's happened with other players. You know, just kind of fixing little things, you know? But not like where it's like making the boss completely like, I don't know, like, well, I mean, it's up to the developers to determine whether to make the patches or not, of course. So this boss that they nerfed, I guess they determined it was way too hard. I don't know. I thought it was fine to a point. Mysterious liquid, maybe we could do a little better. Oh, I should have just taken the stupid thing. Now, I still have to take down another major boss for an achievement that I guess I must have, like, glossed over. I was trying to, like, fight it out. But no, the difficulty, that's just, like, part of the experience. It would be cool to have a colorblind mode and stuff like that for people who have impairment issues with, like, you know, whatever, you know, physical, you know, disabilities and stuff like that. Now that'd be okay, but I mean, something as far as like, oh, there's easy mode. No. No. I don't know, this was like something that was quoted by Miyazaki, the guy who directed with making the Soul games and stuff, that his signature trademark is difficultiness, like making the game very difficult. And if you want easy mode, you play as a warlock. Which I played as a vagabond. I was raising intelligence in the beginning, but then I diverted the stats to the other stuff, and I just kept the intelligence pretty much minimum. So I didn't really use spells too much. I suffered. Even more. Oh, poor thing. Suffering. Poor you. You suffered in Elden Ring. Oh, you're like the only victim out of this whole ordeal. Reality is everybody suffers in the game, and it's a learning curve to, like, adapt. Except to, like, bug stuff. So bring out the bugs. If they nerf the guy, there's a reason why. Maybe there's something behind the scenes I didn't really fully grasp with it. Maybe I got lucky. Who knows? But I had fun playing against him and other bosses. We talk about Melania, who I fought. Technically with a group, I think. I didn't do, like, the Scarlet Rot flies and stuff like that. Like, I tried doing blade damage, and it didn't do much. I think after, like, watching videos of people, like, taking her on and stuff, I realized, like, okay, so her patterns, like, it's like any other video game, right? You recognize patterns, like these guys in this room, right? To some degree, I recognize their patterns. I'm far more effective now than if I was a beginner. And it's all about recognizing patterns and how they function in this game, these characters. Now, do I die a lot and get unnecessary damage from these guys? Yeah. So I'm not super careful in video games. Some people are very gifted. They're very like skilled. Like I might have got like 1,400 hours in this game, but that doesn't mean like I am the expert of the game. There's people far surpassing me than anything. You know, doing big speed runs and heck of a large, what do you call it, win streak and stuff like that, eat-in streaks. I mean, I could do it, but like I don't put the practice to it. And I'm not playing this game hours every day like I used to when it first came out, this Repentance. Now, I used to be, when I first played Repentance, it was like super difficult. I didn't think I was gonna make it to here and do that and whatever else. But now it's like, you know, I've picked up so much on it. And Elden Ring is one of these games where I'm not even used to any of the FromSoft stuff, like at all. So I'm going in there mostly blind because where I have played just a tiny bit of Dark Souls 1, I don't have the full experience of getting like destroyed constantly from bosses. Oh yeah, that thing can go over there and grab it. Thank you. The learning curve for sure. Now, could I do better in Elden Ring 2? Well, yeah. It's gonna take a while. Because sometimes with games, it's like, I'm gonna get hit, then I'm gonna heal. Hit, heal, hit, heal. All right, don't get hit as much. All right, heal more. Okay, do this strategy. So my final Elden Ring boss, getting hit a lot. And that was because, like, I kept, just kept trying to hammer at the boss over and over again. Try to kill him faster before me. And that's not part of the game. It's like some kind of like a Street Fighter game or something where I'm just trying to like take this guy down or something weird. He's not part of the game though. Part of the game is dodge and hit him. So in fighter games, like, you know, that's part of the thing too, is like, you gotta dodge and then hit them. The whole deal is like, you know, stay alive longer. Not like absorb like a bullet sponge. And I get it, like, the whole Ash of War thing is like, oh wow. Or not, well, yeah, both Ash of War and the other thing, the summoning ashes. I get it. It's like, well, that'd be easy mode because summoning ashes can go and assist you, take them down, and get distracted and stuff. Yeah, there's that, and probably make the experience much longer and more satisfying, I guess. But like, for me, like, it's a new concept of the game. I've never played any of the other stuff. It could have maybe taken the experience, but like the thing about it is it's intended to be used. as well. But I'll also argue too that my Mimic didn't really do a lot. I mean, it did some stuff to an extent, but I had to like pick up the pace, and he died a lot too. So like in the late stages, so he's not always reliable is what he used to be. I've seen videos of people not doing a single thing and letting the Mimic do the whole entire boss fight, and they were like AFK. And that's something I don't do. I want to be part of the action. I want to actually work for it too. I could probably work for it more if I didn't summon. I still gotta get the Crow boss and some other stuff just to like get through everything. Crow boss is like a pain in my butt. You can't even summon, so this is gonna be a heck of a challenge. We are not taking Nightlight because that thing is cursed. Cursed. Do we have any keys? No. Seems like there's a lack of keys around here. Uh-oh. Well, goodbye. Might be able to get this to our advantage here.
Infested.
But no, I mean, hard mode. I mean, the game's hard mode. Entire thing. There's some occasions that it seems easier than other parts. I've noticed. Especially you level up quite a bit and you go back in the old dungeons. Oh, Lord of the Pit. And I've seen people taking down bosses with mage gear and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, if you drink this potion, you have this talisman on, you do this and do that, you can one-shot this enemy one sitting or do whatever. Me, it's like, oh, I didn't raise intelligence anymore. I put everything else to other stats. Like last night, I was trying to fight the final boss. And the final boss, so I was trying to like look for help or something like that, and I got summoned. And so this boss comes out after we get into this room, kills him with one hit. He had 806 HP. In comparison, I got close to 2,000 HP from raising my vigor. The guy got one hit. He got hit once and he died. There was no saving him. And then I was returned back into that realm, of course. Almost got that. That would have been bad. That's pretty good. So he got returned back to the realm he came from, because when you die as a host of fingers, then any other person that's with you gets returned back in their world too. So that's what happened. I'm like, okay. And what they call, well, usually when you have that kind of build, that means they put a lot of stuff into different stats. I assume he had a glass cannon run, which means that he is extremely sensitive of being destroyed by any kind of attack. And if you're late in the game doing this, you're going to have a really nasty time. I've seen some players who played as the Wretch, level 1, and beating bosses with the hammer. Now, they got a lot of skill. They put a lot of practice into doing it. So I think these people with glass cannon things usually aren't doing that kind of thing. They're not, they're not doing something big and extravagant. They're trying to, like, put as much power as they can in stats and then try to kill that enemy with some super powerful spells or incantations. Nothing wrong with that. It's a different way to play. For me, it's like, I found out later on, it's like, oh yeah, you should be raising your vigor because later on it's gonna suck. Thank God I took that advice early, because I clearly see now, like, I needed high vigor. I was still suffering even with high vigor. Could have went up even further, but probably made it a lot easier. Rolls an active item each time you use it. No thanks. Oh my goodness. Fire mine's gonna be something else. Yeah, doozy. Rolls all pick up and trinkets on the entire floor. Oh, okay. Oh, I shouldn't have used it in this room. I thought it'd be a bunch of enemies. I've seen, like, some players using, like, the poisonous stuff, which I did a little bit before I reverted my stats back to something else. Mine's mostly of a dex and strength build, is what it is. I know, probably not too impressive as someone with a warlock build, where I can just, like, destroy things with magic, but try out some powerful weapons. With this NG plus mode, I can raise my stats up to try some other stuff. And do it again and again until I'm level 999. Assuming that's the max. It'd be a lot of freaking grinding if I did that. I don't know if, like, the game gives you more ruins each time you reset it. For, like, average enemies, they give you more ruins, or if it just give you the same amount. I imagine they give you a lot more ruins because, like, I was reading stuff about, like, yeah, I'm level 600 and I'm, you know, this is my third replay or something like that, fifth replay. I kind of wonder if that's it, or they're, like, grinding it out from doing, like, you know, you kill an enemy with one head and you get, like, a bunch of stuff. Kind of deal. Which I didn't really do that too much. Like, I wasn't going out farming. I did a little bit just to gain a couple of levels or something, but, like, that was it. Like, I wasn't going, like, oh yeah, I'm level 600 now. Let's go fight Margit the Fell. Or not Margit the Fell, but probably something less than that. Let's see. Let's go fight the other ones. Yeah, Margit the Fell, that's right. Because there was Margit the Omen, and then there was, like, another Margit. Yeah, level 600 and something, and let's go fight Margit the Fell. He just one-shot him or something. The freaking magic beam. And then be like, oh, well, I don't know why people are complaining of him being so hard. It's like, oh, I wonder why. I wonder why indeed. In that battle, I summoned wolves. Wolf ashes, but they didn't last long, of course. And then I summoned some other thing that, Nefeli? The fairy. And she helped with the battle too, I'll admit. Because I was suffering. But now I kind of learn more and more about his patterns, so I'm dodging a little better. It's just kind of a learning curve with everything. Let it be Margaret the Fail Omen, who destroys you. Tarnished. Oh my goodness. And someone did point out, too, I read about in the comments of a video, it's like the creator's like difficulty is basically artistic expression, or like in simpler terms, he was saying like the massive difficulty is well, how do I even make it simpler to say? The difficulty is artistically creative. Is that how I put it in words for that? It's its own artistic creative thing. How do I even word it? It's its own artistic masterpiece. How about that? And I do agree, like, when you create like a unique kind of difficulty for people to try to, you know, strive through and fight through and stuff like that, I don't know if I want that trinket. They're probably gonna get me in a lot of trouble if I take that. 20% chance, huh? It's a golden trinket. Look at that. Charlie, you done it. You found the golden soul heart, black heart, bone heart. Is that the additional stuff then? Top of this trinket, or is it the double the chance? Is the only thing. Or do they like modify it to give you the bone hearts and other hearts? Or has that always been a thing? Anywho, someone did a review video of Elden Ring. It's like, I beat the game 4 times. I'm like, not bad. I mean, I bet in the sense it's like, one, they played probably a lot of Warlock stuff, each of the characters, or most of them. And 2, they went straight to the campaign and not exploring everywhere else like I was. A lot of factors in play. Then they probably have experience with Dark Souls and Sekiro. Or not Sekiro, but Sekiro. Which I heard that one was just like very difficult. There's no mercy with that game, evidently. Even in the beginning. Am I going? Would I be playing with Sekiro, that game in the future? I don't know. I'll think about it, but like, I'm not gonna cheese it. But I mean, I didn't really cheese any of these bosses and stuff in this game, like, at all. I know there's like these guide videos. How to cheese this enemy? How to cheese that enemy? And I said before, it's like the one enemy that I was trying to take down for the last boss, like, it just so happened that something glitched him to make him stop attacking me. I'm gonna do stop attacking him and do nothing the whole match. Because neither of us would be attacking each other except for my Mimic. Which he's just gonna kill him anyways. I don't know. I mean, I've cheesed in video games in the past. I'm not a saint. You know, in Destiny 1, I was grinding out like these rare like engrams by doing the loot cave and stuff. I did the first raid boss cheese too. The Atheon, by knocking him down with a fire grenade as a warlock, which back then they were like looking for a warlock in desperate need to like help them cheese raid stuff. They gave me an opportunity to do it a couple of times. Man, back then even with like looking for groups, like it was like tough. I don't know how it is now, but like when it first came out, and for a while, like a long while, it was like even when I was getting into Destiny 2 late in the game, like it was still like hard to find people. I remember seeing one ad that was posted for a Destiny LFG, which is looking for a group. And it was in regards to like the new raid that came out, right? I don't know which one it was, but like the new raid was like, it came out, nobody had any experience with it, right? Keep that in mind. And this person, swear to God, this person that was advertising was like, oh, you gotta have this KD and PvP and I think something about going to the lighthouse and just a bunch of stuff. I'm like, you're advertising for PvE, not PvP. They put in that. I don't know whether it was a mistake or not, but I think it wasn't because they're talking about the raid 2. Memory serves me right. I'm like, this is not Warzone. This is not some Battle Royale thing. This is Destiny. I probably imagine that he probably didn't find anybody doing that, because like, he'd be looking at that as like, what's this have to do with starting this raid and fighting? I guess maybe it implies that you do well at handling stuff under pressure with dodging and stuff, but PvP is totally different than like PvE. These fire mine tears of the devil, by the way. Could just not pick up blind items. Could also never pick up items. It's not what I mean, man. Alright, now we got... You know what? Let's just take this. Go down next floor. So yes, I have cheesed games over the years. Cheesed enemies. Because Atheon, I guess you can argue like, now looking back now, it's like Atheon, I mean, he's easy to do because I've beat him enough times and everything. But back then it was like, I just want the Vex Mythic class. I want to get it down as fast as I can, and I don't want to go through the entire raid. I just want to get to someone's save file. That reminds me too, that was another thing that happened too in the game. Okay, so in Destiny 1, I think even Destiny 2 has it. There's like a save point for each of the raid stages you could play, right? And they get reset weekly. And so back then, I remembered, what happened was, and this happened a lot, people would join the raid group, assuming, hey, And the other people be like, hey, this person came in, they're gonna help, right? Nope. They come, they take the checkpoint because they entered the game to that later stage, the very important late stage, they just leave. They find some other group or something like that. It's happened a lot. Now, I guess one way to really circumvent that is, instead of giving players a checkpoint where if they're with a group of people or something like that, and then they leave, it doesn't keep the checkpoint. You have to earn the checkpoint. That way people stick around more. But I don't think it's happened enough to where it was like a really serious thing to be talking about or fixing. So it wasn't super rare, but it also wasn't it wasn't something that was super common. You know what I mean? Now, have I played Destiny in a while? I mean, it's been years. It's been at least 3 years, maybe, because I was playing Forsaken at the time when it first came out, and then there was the Gambit stuff coming out, which I did, and then I was working on a raid, and that was the last thing I ever tried doing before I just gave up on the entire series. Because I realized then it was like, I was tired looking for groups to help me. I'm tired of like the arguing and the microphones of people like arguing with each other. You know, things get very heated fast. People getting kicked left and right. It was just too much. So I kind of left out of it. I'm not saying like it happens all occasions. It's just, it's happened enough times with me where it's like, I can't do it anymore. Now, you can make the argument where you can find like a group of people, you know, tight-knit community. Yeah, I could. Actually, I did for Destiny 2 for a bit, and then I kind of left out of it around that time. So they did actually help. They, you know, they were patient and stuff. So there's a huge difference when it comes to finding people, where they're just randoms, which is like, you're gonna be rolling the dice there with randoms, or you find a tight-knit community that don't have as many problems and they're willing to work with you. Like they helped me with like all these different raid bosses and stuff, and Destiny 2 that I never done before. They explained the mechanics and everything else. Like, yeah, they helped me a lot. And then I just kind of left. Realizing it's just not worth it. And then I talked about like in the past before Elden Ring came out, I was like, all right, no more these grindy games and this collecting all this loot and da-da-da, and here I am playing Elden Ring. Because I didn't expect it's gonna be like super huge, like the size of the game, like massive size. Like I knew it was gonna be a, you know, an open world game. I know it was going to be a Souls-like game, but I didn't expect anything to this grand scale. Like, I'm close to 200 hours in the game, and I haven't even collected all the spells and stuff. Well, I mean, I collected most of the spells. And there's a lot. I still gotta complete the rest of the endings, which won't take me as long to do because I won't be doing exploration stuff, but also like I'm doing NG plus mode to get to that point. Which means I keep all my stats and everything, and I'm super freaking buff. Even take down the first boss like it's not an issue. Like, there's so many spells and incantations. I still gotta get the Ash of War stuff, the legendary ones and the regular ones. Still. Ash of Wars and then the Spirit Ashes. I mean, I don't have to get 100% of the game, but I want to get every spell so I can just use it in my reservoir. Or my collection to, you know, pick and choose from if I go in invading random players and stuff. Because that's one thing I want to try to do is, like, I think maybe for the next playthrough, enable the ability of people to invade me. I think I want to add that extra torture to it because, for myself, I'm not masochistic or sadist or anything like that, but I mean, I want to where there's more of a difficulty to it. So when I restart the game, it's like, oh wow, you got like all your armor and ammo and everything else, armor, weapons, whatever else. There's nothing like else holding you back. But then on top of that, I want to be invaded. And that's the thing I disabled since the beginning of the game, was that. Because that's the very thing I fear about whenever I'm in the middle of a quest or something, or I'm down in these mines and I'm gonna get screwed. Like, I've been invaded before only when I'm trying to get help in the co-op. There's been times when enemies just come out and they try to kill me or others. I've died a number of times with that. But it's not as, like, common as, like... enabling the option to have them constantly come for you. I want to come for players, too. Like, I want to go after them. I did a little bit of that, too. A little bit of a taste. Seems like it's kind of buggy still with lag. People despise invaders in the game, evidently. So be it. I will be the despised tarnished. One of the despised tarnished that's going to go and invade players as they're trying to do important tasks. I want to be that jerk. I want to be that sufferer of everything. Of course, when I enable it, they invade me, they're probably going to be some high-end spellcasters that would just yeet me with one hit or two. Well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? By the way, a 5-room on this floor is like one of the worst things to have. I don't know why I did it. The chest, I could see it being pretty useful, or any other floor. But here. Guess there's less opportunities for items. Well, there's trinkets. I guess you could count. There's a blessing there, but... The reason why I say the spellcast is going to kick my butt is because when you raise your intelligence level, it gives you more of a damage, resistance to magic. And, well, let's just say I haven't even raised it once since I resetted my stats with that tier item thing. And yes, I've been getting destroyed. Like, I've been using the talismans. I didn't find, like, the really good ones until after I completed the game. So that could have, like, helped a lot. And yeah, I probably could have like done better too if I equipped the right like Ash of War that's gonna give me an advantage. But it's a learning experience. That's for sure. People are already talking about like DLC for the game. I'm like, okay, just let me just finish everything else up first before we get to that point. Because they left the cliffhanger. I'm not gonna say much about it, like spoilers or anything. Left the cliffhanger for one of the endings I completed. I kind of wonder what that's gonna come. What I'm up against with this. Because they left a few things kind of like in limbo right now. You know, some stuff left unexplained. So I think that's going to be, you know, leaving it to the player in the future for like DLC and stuff. Nothing wrong with that. The base game itself is just freaking packed with stuff. I can't imagine what the DLC is going to be like. Like, it's going to be like... They're going using like again. LOL. I can't imagine what the game's going to be like when... they add more content and then make the maps like much more larger and huge. Oh yeah, our next DLC, we're going to have a map that's going to be about the same size as what the starting map is. I'll be like, damn. Then what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to explore again. Suffer some more. Because I like it. So yeah, that's my little philosophy TED Talk thing. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. It really means a lot to me. Anyways, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.